Hello, hello, hello. Hi, welcome to my bookworm sanctuary. My name is Bianca, and today I wanted to talk about bingeable series. So with these series, basically, I couldn't put them down. Some of them are short, some of them are long series. But for me, I obsess about these books. I absolutely love them. Sometimes, some of them are all-time favorite books, series. Um, Others are recent reads, or I've only recently read them in the last couple of years and love them. So yeah, I think these series are quite bingeable. I guess I'll put out. I guess I'll say the first two most popular series. I guess I've been reading the Immortals After Dark series since I was 18, maybe 17, 19. Don't know. Long time. And it's really cool to see everybody sort of starting to get into them and realizing the series is great. This is a hunger like no other. I suppose you could say this is the second book of the series. What is it? A Warlord Wants Forever is like a little novella, and it's about one of the Roth brothers and a Valkyrie. Can't remember her name. Mist, maybe? I think it's Mist. Anyway, I think in this series, you can probably read the first four books out of order. But once you hit, I suppose, Caden and Holly's story, no, I think more Marikita and Bowen's story, I think you should more start reading it in order of publication then. Because the first few books are sort of in the same sort of timeline, if that makes sense. But yeah, I really love them. Paranormal, they've got Valkyrie, vampires, werewolves, like sorcery. Yeah, it's the Immortals After Dark. It's based on the law, and every 500 years an accession happens. I think it's called an accession. Basically, all the Immortals sort of fight each other, sort of a check and balance sort of thing. And yeah, it's fantastic. And Nyx is a lot of people's favourite, and for good reason. She's mine as well. I love her. She's knocking futs Nyx. But yeah, I love it. Love the series. So then I want to mention the Psy Changeling series by Nalini Singh. So with these books, there's a few. What to say about the Psy Changeling series? I have picked up this book, Saved a Sensation, maybe 4 or 5, no, longer now. It's probably about 5 or 6 years since I picked up the series. I'm not really sure, but it's been a while. And I binged these like there was no tomorrow. I picked up, I think, the first 4 books and devoured them. I remember we went on holidays to Thailand, I think, Koh Samui, and I only bought like 4 books with me, and I thought that would be great for 10 days. You know, I read all those books in 2.5, so yeah. But I think this is really, really bingeable series. It's really world heavy. It's not just the couple, it's the world as well that is just fantastic. The Psy are like mental beings, mental humans sort of things. Mental, but you know what I mean? Like they have psychic abilities and talents, and they share the Psy net, which is not like a hive mind, but it's interesting. And basically the Psy have inflicted silence upon themselves for the last 100 years or something. And silence was a program is a thing where they just basically don't feel, can't feel emotion and are taught not to feel emotion as children, and not necessarily taught in the best ways how to be silent. A bit abusive, really. And then you got the changelings, which are what they shifters. These ones are cats, panthers, jaguars, something like that. I can't remember. But the big cats, basically. And in this one, you meet Lucas, who's the alpha of Dark River, and Sasha. And Sasha is a Psy, and she shouldn't feel, but she's starting to feel. And there's a serial killer aspect about it. The changelings, Lucas and his clan pack, basically want to, find out who this killer is, and they suspect it's a Psy. And yeah, he and Sasha sort of team up together for this housing project thing. And then, yeah, it's them trying to figure out the serial killer, falling in love. And you just learn so much about the pack and other changelings, and it's just so world richly. And each book follows a different couple. I'm not sure if I said that about the Immortals After Dark, but the Immortals After Dark follow a separate couple every book as well. And I love that sort of storytelling, I guess, series. I prefer a series where they're all sort of connected, but each book is about a different couple. I find if a book's about the same thing, it tends to drag on for me. Does that make sense? Anyway, Slave Sensation, the Sly Changeling series, I think it's really bingeable. I couldn't put them down. Love them. And then we'll put in a recent read, really recent actually. I only read them early this year. Smash and Grab, the Relic series. Is it Relic? Yes, Relic series. Smash and Grab, Sink or Swim, and King and Queen. All three of these are dinosaur shifters. Very short. They're male. Dinosaur shifter romances. They're really freaking awesome. Funny as fuck. Funny. Sorry, I'm trying not to swear. Funny, and just love them. This one's about Simon, who's a paleontologist. Is that what they're called? Pretty sure it's paleontologist. And he's trying to undiscover, or clean up. Yeah, he's trying to clean up this egg he has. And then he was targeted by black market idiots who want to steal dinosaur bones and relics and stuff for profitable gain, basically. And Relic is a group of dinosaur shifters, and they basically don't want their heritage in the wrong hands, which is heritage? Is that the right word? Anyway, Simon's the paleontologist. He has that egg, and Simon gets involved, and it's funny. Dalton gets involved, and Dalton is a funny fucker. Like, he's just hilarious. And then Sink or Swim is about Baja and Jackson, and Baja is the dinosaur, and Jackson is Jackson. And yeah, I love this one too. This was fantastic. Baja is like your grumpy dinosaur, and Jackson's like your little ray of sunshine. But they need to go on a cruise because of black market reasons and pretend that they're a couple, and it's fantastic. And then King and Queen. I actually listened to this, and I highly recommend the audio. It was hilarious. The way old mate, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the narrator's name is, but the way he narrated Blaze was spot on, fantastic, loved it. But yeah, so Blaze is living out of his van, trying to start his own internet thing, and gets thrown into dinosaur stuff. And Royal is it Royal? Yeah, Royal is the dinosaur. And yeah, he's cool. They're all cool. I really love this series and I can't wait for more to come out. I think the 4th one comes out soonish. I really can't remember. But I really do think they're really bingeable. And then pick up the pile of books. So with this, I want to recommend A Sweet Omega verse, Catherine Moon. Catherine Moon and I can't think of her name. Not helpful. If I remember who it is, I'll put it up. I think it's Lana Cole. She also did a sweet verse novel sort of based in the same world. Anyway, this is Baby in the Late Night Howlers. I hate the name Baby, I really do, as a name. So it took me a minute to get used to all the nicknames, because she sort of flips from talking about them with their real name and their fake, nickname. So it confused me slightly. But I really love this. This is a Megaverse. So she meets this beta, and she didn't really know she was an Omega, and then she meets this beta, or beta, whatever you want to call them, and he basically takes her to safety, but she ends up getting involved with him and his alpha, and it's really, I love the world. It's really cool. This is really kinky. It's kind of long. It's a little bit chunky. But I found it really, really, really bingeable. I could not put this down when I picked it up. And same with Lola's and the Millionaires. Lola and the Millionaires, part 1 and 2. Pretty covers though. Lola is Baby's friend, and you sort of see a bit of Lola in the first book. But Lola went through some shit and is suffering a confidence boost. She basically has no confidence anymore and is a little traumatized from what happened. And then she meets these alphas, and it's just their story over 2 books. They're also not the slimmest things, but yeah, again, I found this really bingeable, really kinky. Probably more happened in part 1 than part 2. Part 2. But yeah, I loved it. And obviously they're millionaires. Baby went for bikers, I'm pretty sure. And in Lola and the Millionaires Part 2, you see Eve, who's an assassin alpha, a female alpha, and you meet her in this one. Very, this one's more about Eve, who's the alpha, and she's basically sent after Adam and Eve. And Adam is an Omega, and he is in trouble, and she's sent to kill him and decides not to. And then she tries to palm him off and to some other alphas, and she's, she does some stupid stuff, but there's some sex scenes in here that are just awesome. And yeah, I could not put this one down either. I picked it up actually the day it arrived and didn't put it down until I finished it, pretty much. So yeah, Baby and the Late Night Howlers, Lola and the Millionaires Part 1 and 2, and Bad Alpha, all part of the Sweet Omegaverse, I think is really bingeable. And then I wanted to mention the Out of Uniform series by Elle Kennedy. I think this series is really bingeable as well. With these, is it this first one? Yeah. So the first 2 books in this, where's the other one? Sorry, my bad. So the first 2 books in this are a collection of 3 stories each. So they're very short stories. I will admit The women are perfect, so are the men. But I really do like them for what they are. They're just quick, erotic sort of erotic sort of stories. Probably doesn't too focus, especially the first 6 short stories, don't really focus too much on relationships so much. More just, sex and sexual attraction. So really did love them though. And then the rest of the books, and I can't remember which one is what. I think Cash was next. And then Cash got his first full book. These guys are Navy SEALs. Is it Navy SEALs? Yeah, they're Navy SEALs. They're hot as fuck. Love them. And really kinky. They all sort of, what's the word? Have menages and things like that together. So they, carry on. Seth is hot as hell. Is this one Seth? No, that's Jackson. That's Seth? I don't know. Anyway. Loved these ones, and my favorite out of the series would be Hotter Than Ever. Jesus, trying to take myself out with the book. This one is a throuple. So Dylan and Aiden, you've seen in the books before, and you've seen Claire as well. And Claire's going to marry Dylan's brother, and then they don't. And basically Dylan takes her to his place where he now lives with Aiden, and they are together but not together. And it's about 3 of them basically hooking up. I think it's really, really sweet. I think it's one of the best out of the series, actually. I do love them all, but this is probably my favourite. Maybe because I have a thing for threesomes, thruples, who knows, in books. But yeah, so I loved the Out of Uniform series. Really recommend that. Ugh. And then for a chunky series again, I really recommend the Ice Planet Barbarians. So with the Ice Planet Barbarians, I don't have the pretty new covers, unfortunately. I have the old ones, but I've only got the first 6 books, I think it is, yeah. Hold on, I'll show you. First 6. Is it 6? 7, my bad. Got the first 7. And they follow the first 6 women more or less on the spaceship. So with this series, beware in this first book especially, it's a little jarring. In the first few pages, there's a very graphic sex scene, a very graphic assault. And it really actually disturbed me. I did not expect it, and I was working and reading, so I had to put the book down just when we sort of got to that series, and then I was working a bit, and I just kept thinking about that really disgusting moment, which really sort of put me off. But once I got back into the book, couldn't put it down, loved it. So I think you're not missing much. They get abducted by aliens, and Georgie just wakes up very jarred, and another girl wakes up and she's assaulted. So I think you should just miss the first chapter completely. You don't need to read it. It is mentioned, like assault is mentioned further on in the books, but not as graphically or as bad. And each book, I suppose, is very similar. They've all got the same sort of formula, and they're all slightly different, but they all work. They're really bingeable, really bingeable. These guys are very blue, very alien. And yes, they end up crashing on this ice planet, and it's them trying to survive. And Vectel finds Georgie, and they thinks she's his mate straight away. And yeah, it's got that like a parasite, I can't pronounce it, not quite sure, thing in their chests. It's like a little parasite that basically tells you who your perfect mate is. And Vectel's little queen thing is telling him that Georgie is his perfect mate. And you kind of need this parasite thing to survive the planet, because the planet is a little toxic. So yeah, it's I loved it. I love this series. I really do. And then it just continues on. Liz and old mate, can't think of his name. I like this one. Probably not my favourite though. And yeah, they all sort of just follow the similar sort of formulas, but they're all a little different. And now I'm just throwing books around, and there's a little novella which I really liked. And I've only got the first 6, 7 books of the series, but I do want to get the rest eventually. But it's a big series. It's huge. And then it sort of has a spin-off series. I think it's called the Ice Home series from memory. And that's another group of people. Anyway, I love the world. I love everything about the Planet Barbarians. They really were bingeable. I read them all on Kindle Unlimited, and I've only recently just trying to start to collect them. But unfortunately, they're a little bit pricey, and books are not, cheap. Sucks, really. And then I wanted to mention one more series. Again, this one is a really bingeable series as well. Could not put it down. But the Puck series. So there's Pucked, Pucked Over, Pucked Under, Forever Pucked, which is about Alex and Violet. Violet's very weird. She's very, just weird. She's very weird, but I love it. Like, she's just so... Yes, I loved everything about this series, and it made me laugh like there's no tomorrow. And is it Super MC? I think it's Super MC. And she's just a funny. I really love it. The second book follows her stepbrother and her Alex, her partner's sister. And then Pucked Over, this is my favourite, loved it. Lily and Randy, very kinky, very nice. You meet them in a previous book. Can't remember which book, but yeah, you meet them already, and I loved it. Loved this one. This was so freaking... And I'm not really one for facial hair, but Randy... And then there's a few more. Pucked Off, Pucked Up, and, nearly took myself out. Pucked Love. Did I already say that? Anyway, love all these books. Some of them are about the same couple. Like these two are about Randy and Lily. Randy and Lily, and these two are about Alex and Violet. And the rest are just about friends and members. They're hockey, obviously by Pucked. They're hockey romances, ice hockey. And yeah, they're just great. Like Violet meets Alex because of her brother or stepbrother. And they have a funny relationship, and yeah, so she meets Alex and they start this fling, and it's really... She's a bit hesitant because she thinks all ice hockey players are a bit of players. But yeah, Alex is such a sweetie. And yeah, I love the whole series. It's really, really bingeable. So yeah, that was 7 series that I think are really bingeable. They're quite awesome. But yeah, I think they're all really, really bingeable. And then just as a little side note, because they're right here and I can't help myself, but a spin-off series of the Puck series is the All In series, and they're sort of about Um, Alex is now a coach. Life has progressed, time has progressed, and this is about members of his new team and stuff. Anyway, I really love the All In series as well. I really, really loved it. I think the second book was my favourite with Blake and Jess. No, is it Blake and Jess? Why do I feel like that's another book? Bishop and Stevie. Where I got Blake and Jess from? Oh, I know where I got Blake and Jess from. That's a Elle Kennedy and Serena Bowen book. Part of the Good Boy series, I think. What is it called? WAG series. Anyway, I'm getting off track again. This one, Blake and Stevie. Bishop and Stevie. Really loved it. It was my favourite. So yeah, bingeable series. These are pretty much all the series that I think are really bingeable. I mean, there's more that I think are bingeable, but frankly, I talk way too long and probably have made no more sense than usual. See, that sentence didn't make sense. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Do you have any recommendations for me? Like any bingeable series that you think maybe I'd be interested in? I want to start the Michaela Lane novels soon. So that's a new series hopefully I'll get into. But yeah, anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.